Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smoke fest.
Okay. Sometimes I forget I've got it on loop.
Yeah.
What's going on, boys and girls? It is time for Sketching the Privateer, the show where you get to watch me play with my pad and get my comic book on. So,
I'm
how you
skipping
doing
Madam
today?
Web for
I've
this.
got a couple of friends along. I got Teague, I got Jed. How are you guys doing? It's good to see you.
Oh, good, man.
Oh, very good.
I was going to go see Madam Web, but this compelled me to stay, and I thought this would be a lot more exciting.
You'll
and make
have
more
a better
sense.
time coming here, so
I think I could. I'm going to be honest. After seeing Sydney Sweeney and what's her name, Dakota Johnstone or whatever her name is, on the red carpet naked in those outfits that they called clothes, I think I could watch about 30 seconds of that movie before I ran to the bathroom, and then for about 5 minutes, and then I wouldn't need to see anymore.
Dude, she doesn't even want to talk about her own fucking movie, dude.
Well,
You know
here's
what?
the deal,
I'm going to
man.
give her a lot of credit for that. Let's be honest. Brie Larson had a move with a movie just as bad. Tried the opposite tack. So let's give Dakota Johnson credit. She's not going
Look,
down
man,
with this train wreck.
I will give her every chance in the world because I love her parents. Okay, I was a huge
Her
Miami
parents.
Vice fan,
Me too.
and I'm a fan of her mother. Yeah,
Wait, she's Melanie Griffith's daughter?
yes,
Melanie and Kurt
yes,
Russell's kid.
He is
Yeah.
Hollywood royalty.
No,
Yeah.
not Kurt Russell. Don Johnson.
Don Johnson.
Oh, sorry, Don Johnson.
And
Yes,
Melanie Griffith. That's their kid, and they produced a really good-looking kid. Let me tell you, but they're two good-looking people, so
next to Stanley,
you know that you got to expect that, right? But anyway, let me get the recordings going so people can get the gist of what's going on here. But yeah, man, I'm going to see it this weekend because Hot Chicks on Parade. That's why. Yeah, even if it's a bad movie, at least I get eye candy. So, you know, hey.
Well, I want to hear after the movie how much eye candy there was.
Oh yeah.
Don't bullshit me, Joe.
Me and Knock, I've already said we're gonna go see it this weekend. We're gonna do a review of it on Wednesday. So
I may find it in some other means.
You may do what the privateer does. Sail the high seas. What?
Yes, because I am a fucking pirate.
I'd like to point out that this privateer, as he calls himself, is nothing more than a rebellious British citizen, not following the law and no kind of American at all.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, let me tell
made
you.
it to July 4th, 1776 in his own continuity? No.
I've got to add some. I actually started this show on the wrong damn
Lil Spec, what's up, brother?
setup. So now I have to grab a bunch of graphics and put them in here. Bear with me, gentlemen. Low Specs in here. What the hell's he up to?
Hey, what's going on?
It's good
We're
to see him.
sketching episode 1. It's called The Privateer Sells Out West Point. With his companion, Benedict Arnold.
Man, let me tell you. I tell you the guys I get into. If you want to watch a great show, man, the History Channel did my favorite version of the American Revolution and how it started.
Turned.
A few years back, it's called Sons of Liberty. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, I actually did see
it. It is awesome. I love it because it focuses on Samuel Adams and the underground market and everything that went on in Boston. Cool. So it's very cool show. I love the guy that plays Paul Revere in it. He's awesome. I wish they'd put him in more stuff because he's really good. And I love the way they portrayed Benjamin Franklin. They portrayed him as a drunk whoremonger, which is exactly what he was, man. It was freaking awesome. It is so great.
When he was young, he used to be a little more sporting, but yeah, when he got old, he was just paying for it.
Well, he was our representative to the King's Court, the colony's representative, and so he enjoyed the perks of the position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the King of France, that would be, yes.
Too fucking funny, man. Too fucking.
He also used to think. Didn't he also say publicly he used to like to sit around naked with the windows open for an hour a day just to refresh himself?
I don't know if he ever said anything like that, but I wouldn't put it past him. I'll say that, no doubt. I dig Benjamin Franklin. I think he's a great.
Ian Hamilton, the only presidents on bills, the only non-presidents on bills.
Right.
God, if Alexander Hamilton had become president, well, God. I've been by his. He's buried right near what used to be the Trade Center.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Trinity Church in Manhattan. Sorry, you had a moment there.
Yeah, he had a senior moment there. So
no, it's not that. I'm just saying his accent is coming out today. You can tell what.
Mine? Oh, yeah.
Yes, yours. It's coming out thick today.
Yeah, mine comes out every once in a while.
When I noticed that when your accent comes out really thick, that you're in a good mood. So you must be having a good day.
Wait, you've been around me for almost a year. My accent comes out every once in a while.
Yeah, but not.
I think mine comes out when I'm pissed.
Yeah. I'd rather not hear any of that when you're mad. That's for sure. Oh, no thanks.
Yeah.
I love you to death.
Hell of a representation of Alaskans.
We gotta help you stay on an even keel.
Yeah,
I worry about you. Okay, so that page.
Hi,
go ahead and throw this one up and show it to him. This one is the first page where the attack's starting on the Coast Guard cutter, and then we'll get to work on the second page and see how far we get. I'm not doing super details. I'm just expanding on what I've already done on the sketches. And I think I told you last week, Teague, I've actually got 40 pages that I have to ink. And that's what I'm working on now, is getting the black and white done. And then I'll worry about the color. For some reason, I've got a little heebie-jeebie going on here. We got a hiccup. We got a hiccup.
Hey, come Christian, what's up,
there it goes. There it goes. I don't know what's up with that. I guess my Wi-Fi network isn't liking things today. I don't know.
I think it'd be better there if one of the Coast Guardsmen was actually a strong female and was yelling at the male Coast Guardsman.
Actually, there is
kind of audience.
Oh, I've got the exact opposite thing going on in this, my brother. Actually, one of my favorite pages is the one where he jumps on the ship originally. So what is going on with my damn hookup? This is bizarre. You guys do me a favor and entertain the troops there for a second while I go check what's running and not out here. I'll be right back.
We always.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought that Miles Morales was the ultimate slap in the face to New York's Spider-Man, There is now a movie called Madam Web, where we see his better, smarter mother, played by a hot chick surrounded by other hot chicks, doing smarter woman type things. In this movie, we eventually, but do not actually get to a point where things make sense. And from what I've been told, there are like not one but 5 different components to making Madam Web Madam Web. And it's about Peter Parker's better, smarter mother.
I kind of went off in one of our family discords this morning about Madam Web, saying the geek in me came out, and I kind of went off on a rant tangent. Like, he was just, Madam Web was an old woman. She was crippled. Her husband did this. I was like,
blind.
I was blind. I was going through all the shit that was in the comic book, and I was like, no.
And by the way, she's old in like 1990, right? When they throw that.
When her first appearance, appearance showed up, she was old. How is
also a clone? But I'm not. That's another story.
Yeah.
All I want to say is the way the math works out.
It looks like
Madam Web is 49 now. So that's what the definition of old is.
Yeah. The idiots over at Marvel don't know. Not Marvel. Disney Marvel.
90. Yeah. They had to rewind time and give us a better, smarter female or Spider-Man. Can you feel the estrogen, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yikes! Look out!
It's necessary redress the past grievances.
Yikes! Look out! I'm gonna try and restart the stream real quick.
Okay.
And I killed everything that was on Wi-Fi. So hopefully that'll do it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. If not, I'll just grab my my stuff and do a little recap on what I've drawn already. As far as pulling the cards out.
Today's show was written by Christopher Nolan. The plot will begin 13 minutes into the broadcast.
That's it. Or as Dead likes to say, check back in about a half an hour. And, progress will be made.
Check back in like 15 minutes.
And you know what? Count yourselves lucky, because it was almost written by Zack Snyder, which means the plot wouldn't have kicked in until 45 minutes, and then we just would have been out of there.
Yeah.
Right.
It would have thrown what was going on at you, like not even piecemeal, just all at once, and then just like jumped out the window.
Boom. And there it would be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're restarting now. Let's see what happens here.
Madam Web.
Let's see what happens here. Let me get off of that. Refresh it and see if it has started the other stream. Yes, it has. So hopefully, if it messes up again, I'll just do a recap of the first issue and show you guys everything. I've got 2 issues plotted, but
that's good, bro.
Yeah, I do. It's just, man, there's so much work, dude. There's a reason why they have teams of guys doing it.
This is why I was going to go do a comic, but then I actually got shown by Stan and others how much goes into making a comic. I'm like, there's no way I can do this by myself.
It's a lot.
No, well, that only applies to good comics. We could do this badly very quickly, but
no. We can't be doing that. No.
Right.
Okay, so we're on page 2. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit, and I think I have a sketch layout that'll work better with this.
Clearly, a Soviet-era helicopter there, possibly
That's
behind.
Right, man. Soviet-era
7 variety fine helicopter.
Spraying the place. That's right. Right. So, I got to make sure I'm on the right layer.
The atmosphere meetup. Help me out here.
What?
Christian Delorme's Vinyl Revival says 9.5 weeks until the atmosphere meetup.
Yes, the atmosphere meetup. Listen to him.
When is that? Wait, there's going to be a meetup?
It's me and him.
Did you have another Christmas party without us?
What? I don't know anything about this.
Christian is coming down to New Orleans. He's going to be down there at the beginning of May, and my wife and I, we usually like to go down there about every 2 years and take a little, us time, right?
Yeah.
And good to see you, Christian, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for coming over, Christian. I appreciate it.
Anyway, he said he was going to be down there around then. Me and Rhonda discussed it. We said, yeah, we'll go ahead and go get a hotel room. So we're probably going to go eat dinner together, me, Christian, and his lady, and Foxy, all 4 of us go hang out. And I mean, I've put it out there. If you guys want to, I'll keep up.
Bro, if I could get over there, I would.
Yeah, I know it's a long way away for you.
It's a long way for me.
But anyway, and Teague wouldn't be there either. I mean, just as far for him too.
Yeah.
I
But
get vertigo if I leave the 212 area code.
but anyway,
Mm.
yeah, we're going to be doing that in the beginning of May. Yeah. Do me a favor, Christian, and send me the dates you're going to be here. Okay. I think I put it on my calendar, but I'm not sure. I just want to reconfirm that stuff because me and Rhonda got to go ahead. I talked to her about it the other day, and she goes, "I don't know when we're going." Because I asked her about hotel rooms. So, have you already got a hotel room? Answer that question first. Secondly, we need to settle in on a date. By the way, speaking of dates, I will be on Christian DeLorme's Vinyl Revival on the 28th of February for the Triumph show we're gonna do. We're gonna do a show on Triumph, so
That's
be
gonna
sure
be
to
awesome.
check that out. Yeah, I love Triumph, dude. One of my
The
favorite.
insult comedian dog or the Pele movie?
Not neither one. First of all, it's called Victory, the Pele movie.
Right.
I said Triumph. Triumph is a band that played rock and roll in the 80s and a little bit in the 90s, but not much.
Yeah, they didn't do that much in the 90s.
No.
Are they they're from Canada?
They're from Canada, yeah, which is where Christian's from. That's, he likes to do stuff
Do you know them?
No.
Christian. Okay.
No.
Christian,
But
you know, anyway.
if his channel is devoted to music he likes, it's called Vinyl Revival.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be on there. And you guys see I'm already working here. And if I want to check them, if I want to check out what's going on, first of all, you got to make sure you're on. And I'm not. Look at this. I started on the wrong one again. Watch this, guys. I'm going to get rid of the other layers. And there's the pieces of the hat that I did. So I've got.
Yeah.
So I got to redraw all of that now. First thing I got to do is erase that shit.
I'm thinking about on the Archivist doing comic books I like or stuff.
I don't know why you don't, man. There
I
need to
know.
be more shows like that. Okay, now we're back on the correct one for pen and ink, so we can go ahead and bring up the sketch one again, and I can get back to work. Anyway, yeah, you should, man. There needs to be more guys doing comic book shows. I mean, the best comic book show I've seen
is Nick's. Yeah,
is Nick's.
Nick's is the best. I agree with that hands down.
Clobby does a good job. He's a little fanatical though. I find him to be a little bit fanatical. He's very up on the lore.
Me and him have gotten some strong conversations.
Well, some guys are just
Stan Lee. He would do it.
Some guys are just they're fundamentalists when it comes to comic books. I had a very good friend. God love him. He's passed away a few years now. He lived in Vegas, and we used to play DC Universe Online together. But if you look up the DC Wiki, he is, I think to this day, he's either the second or the third top contributor to that Wikipedia page. Mm-hmm. And he's not even the founder of it, okay? And his name is Harry Simon. God love him. What those of us in the DCUO community knew him as Mr. Ice Guy. That was his character's name. And he was one of the funniest dudes I ever met. But boy, don't ever piss him off when it came to comic books.
No, that's like
first of all, he was a guy that absolutely hated the television show Big Bang Theory. He hated that fucking show.
Oh, there's a lot of people that hate
it. He did not like the way that comic book fans were portrayed in that show.
Oh, okay, I'm going to say this because I got told so much shit. One time, I just went through the whole series because I wanted to see how bad it was.
Yeah.
There are parts where, they really lean on, like, we're fucking degenerates. We live in their mom's basement. They can't get no girls, but here's the story. And spoiler, because they've had the thing. Everybody gets the girl in the end, and they're all married, and they become, really good. And so they start out just terrible geeky motherfuckers, but they're still geeky motherfuckers at the end, but they're geeky motherfuckers with money and women and all this other shit. So
yeah. Even 90210 was more realistic. At least one of their cast gets deleted by playing with guns in season 1. Something
I know, right?
Remember the kid who wore the cowboy hat.
Yeah, but
you want to mess around with my pistol? It's like, no.
I did have issues with Big Bang Theory too. So
well, this is the deal. He wouldn't watch it at all because he did not like the way that comic book fans were portrayed.
Oh no, and the way they said thing on some.
Oh no, stuff. A commie-copter awesome one says yes. It is a Hind helicopter. You know it is, my friend. Yes, that's because the privateer. Okay, think about who we're talking about. We're talking about America's pirate Patriot. Who is his natural nemesis going to be? It's George Washington, sir. It's the guy that wants to bring back. It's the flip side of the privateer. Yeah. The privateer is worried about freedom. That's all he cares about, right? He's a lot like Captain America in that way,
Privateer's like America, fuck it.
He's like that, but he's quick to challenge people on the Bill of Rights and all that stuff because he was there when all that shit was formed and why it was formed, and he calls people on it. You know what I mean? But anyway, now Ivan Rakhmanovich, though, the guy that is his nemesis, he was a dude that was a special forces guy in Afghanistan when the Russians were there back in the 80s. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of 80s stuff in here because that's my era. That's when I was in the military too. So anyway, oh shit, it flipped to. I hate it when it does that.
Sometimes and 80s were one of the most awesome eras ever.
Oh yeah, it was. But anyway, when they backed out of Afghanistan, he flipped out. He called everybody in, and this guy was the son of a Politburo member. Okay, if you know anything about the old Soviet Union, the Politburo was the guys that they were kind of like our Congress,
Yeah.
So he flipped out. He said, half of your traitors, blah, blah, blah. He lost his mind. He was a really good soldier. So they stuck him in a gulag for decades. And when he got out, he said, you know what? I'm going to bring all the Soviet satellites back, because by the time he got out, the wall had fell and everything, and he felt like it all happened because he wasn't there. Right. So when he got out, his mission in life is to bring all the Soviet satellites back under the hammer and sickle. That's his.
Yep.
He's a Soviet patriot. I know it sounds crazy, but that is what he is. He is the flip side of the privateer. He believes in the country that he defended, right? And that's what the privateer is. So, it's going to be a lot of fun when you guys see this stuff. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, man. Really. And I am working on ways to find myself some more time to do this. I actually got some work done this week on some things to clear my time, where I can get to work on this thing a little more. Because it's going to take a lot of work, man.
Oh, I know it is.
But I'm done setting deadlines for myself because I'm supposed to be enjoying this, man. And
because I noticed this when we were doing Roadhouse, when you do set deadlines and all this other stuff, and you just, especially when I was doing the Archivist, it stresses you out and everything else, and you're not having fun no more.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So, yeah. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. I know it's tedious, kind of, and I think what I'll do is I'll show a little bit of what I'm doing, and then I'll show you. You guys probably haven't seen the 40 pages I've done already. I mean, they're all like this. They're all sketched. I mean, enough details to tell me what's going on the page. I used. Hang on, I'll show you. Just take me a second to pull up. I've even got the folder up already.
Wow.
And we got scripts. There's number 1. Okay, so what I did was I wrote out the script, and this is just a very, very, hang on, let me move this thing. Get it over here where you can see it. Yes, this is a knockoff Word program. But let me crank it up where you can see what's going on here. Okay. The page we're doing right now says splash page view from the command deck of the cutter of the Hind helicopter retrofitted with stealth tech strafing the deck. The captain orders battle stations. Title opening salvo is going to be the name of the thing. Okay. And so these guys are running from the bullets on the deck, but that's what's supposed to be being portrayed here. This is what the commander sees through the front deck. But anyway, that's what I did. I wrote out 2 issues that are 20 pages apiece. This is the second issue right here. You know, and it's actually pages 2 and 3 are a spread of a big friggin' thing. These guys, they find a body amongst the rubble of an explosion. And I'll show you that stuff here in a minute, guys. But that one I'm going to enjoy writing because this is the incident. This is the linchpin that gets those 2 working against each other, the privateer and the communist reign. You see that right there. So yeah, it's I wrote all this and I've got the 3rd one written. What I want to do, my goal, and I told Teague this last week. My goal is to let me put a recording on here real quick while I get this stuff together. The friggin' what I'm planning on doing is doing 3 books a year and then taking a little time off for myself and doing a what do they call it? Graphic novel of the 3 issues altogether. Because I want people to experience it the way I did when I was young, man. When they put out these graphic novels, you can't get the cliffhanger endings, man. You don't get the cliffhanger endings. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
Like, okay, in the 90s, I won't say in the 90s, when Infinity Gauntlet came out, you had a cliffhanger at each and every end of the book.
Yeah.
Like, Infinity Gauntlet, when I got the first episode of Infinity Gauntlet, and I was reading in the car because I was going to go to Metro Center and I was a mall rat back then and stuff, and go hang out in the mall and screw around in the arcade and other stuff. I was reading in the car. I just came from the comic book shop, and we were going there. We're going to have some pizza and do all this other stuff. And I read it through, and my dad was like, "Are we ready to go in?" I was like, "No, I want to finish the end of this." You got to the end of the first thing, and it just blows your mind.
Here's my it happened to be attached to all my cards. I've got all my cards in the thing for my shows that I do. That's my Marilyn Monroe.
That's awesome, brother.
Yeah, that's an old drawing right there.
Yeah.
I you know why I did it though? I'm still the dirty old man. I had to get her butt in there somehow.
Yeah, you had to do better.
I did not have sex with that woman.
All right, Mr. Kennedy.
Have you seen how large my wife's hands are? Seriously, awesome. Jacqueline Onassis is kind of pretty,
yeah.
If you ever see any pictures where she kind of has her hand in frame, she really did have just about the largest hands of any woman I've ever seen. It was like,
really?
Jackie, here's your wedding ring. It's forged from the anchor of a battleship.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let me see. Let me put these things in order real quick because I have my favorite ones out, okay, so that I can pin them to a green screen I take with me. Actually, green screen I used to use when I used OBS to do my shows, and I actually take that to the shows and I pin these things. I say pin. I don't put holes in this at all. I would never do that.
No, yeah,
but I use clips. You know those pinch clips to put them, hang them on there, and yeah, man, it's fun shit. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and that's the main goal anyway.
I think that's the thing, and I want to stress this to anybody that watches any of this. Don't stress out. Have fun. This is what you're meant to do. Do not give up on your art. And I put this on Instagram and on Twitter the other night because I've been putting some like self-help stuff and it helps people out. And like, dude, you're doing this, and a lot of us, we don't start out YouTube wanting money. We just do it for the love of doing this stuff. Like in with art too, it's like you start out because you have the love for it. So don't give up on that. And like one of these days, somebody's gonna see you and like, dude, can you do this for me? Like, you know, or just do it for yourself, and then it will come to you.
That's it.
Like,
just stick with it. You never know what's going to happen with it.
Yeah.
Try to apply that to the internet. It's like, we need someone to be an asshole at this place for a while. Could you come down and just be an asshole for us, Steve? We got I was like, well, I can't be an asshole for less than $3,000, but we got $5,000. But we really want you to be okay. I'll be crude. I'll stay up all night the night before drinking gasoline.
That is the cover of him hanging out the Huey helicopter.
Dude, that's fucking awesome,
bro. And then, see, I'm doing this usually with these kind of boards. You use a blue pencil because you're going to put actual ink on it, and I just don't want to do that. So I'm not using blue. I'm using pencil because I'm really good at it. You know, this is that first page. You know, the Coast Guard cutter, and I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but this panel right here is actually an ode to one of my favorite album covers. If you've ever seen Rainbow Straight Between the Eyes, that album cover. That's what the eyes look like.
Wait. We talked about that one
coming
night.
Out of the head.
Yeah, that's the one with the guitar neck coming through the.
Didn't we talk about it that one night? We did that 6-hour stream on Rumble.
Could have been. No telling. I was drinking that night, so I'm sure.
Yeah, both of us were drinking that night. Like so yeah.
But anyway, that's page 1, and then page 2, of course, is what I was just working on. It's the guys running for their lives because the helicopter's attacking, right? And it'll say opening salvo, right? And then what happens in the battle? See, you guys that watch this show are going to know what's in the comic book before it even comes out.
Yeah,
you get the inside dope. See?
And that's the thing. Watching this every week is you get to see all the little Easter eggs and all this other stuff that you got to see before the comic.
Exactly, and then you've got. This is the captain giving orders. You got the helicopter coming in and dropping a torpedo, right? Another strafing run, right? That's the helicopter making another strafing run coming up the back of the boat, right? And then right here, you actually see, and I told you I would explain this to you, Teague. That is the view from the cockpit of the helicopter that the privateer's in, but they can't see it. They're watching this on a monitor. When I put the details in there, you'll see that they're actually watching this on a monitor that's being projected on their windshield. Okay, they're actually seeing where they're going to fold space into. All right, and then right here is the first you see of the privateer. He's saying, "Bring us in low over the deck," right? Or no, he in this panel he says turn up that radio, right? Because he wants to hear what's going on.
No, right? The radio.
And then you got the torpedo hitting on the deck, guys flying everywhere trying to get away from it, right? And then you've got a female Coast Guardsman trying to get away. She's been knocked off her feet, and you see the helicopter coming in over her shoulder, right? And that's the privateer, and that's where you get the first inclination that eye patch isn't really an eye patch, because you see right in the center there's a little triangle, and it's going to be lit up red on a blue eye patch, right? And you see the scowl and everything, and that's the tip of the tri-cornered hat. That's his signature, man. The tri-cornered hat's got to be on him, right? That way everybody knows he's a patriot right away, right? Anyway, in that panel he says, "Bring me in low over the deck," right? And so in the next one, you see him actually leaping from the helicopter. You can see it right in here. There's a little bubble that you can actually see the nose of the Huey, right? And then you got the hind helicopter right here coming in for a strafing run, and then that's the privateer jumping with his rifle in his hand and putting himself between her. That's her on the deck looking up. Her hair's in a bun, if you wonder what's going on with that. Because girls that have long hair have to wear their hair in a bun if they're in the military. But anyway, that's him jumping between the strafe and run and the girl. Okay. And what's going on is you see the line all the way around him. He's got a shield around him. And what the shield does, it's an inertia shield. He doesn't want people getting hurt by the ricochet of bullets, right? So he made himself an inertia shield it's almost like shooting into gel. It hits that shield, stops, and falls to the ground. It soaks up all the inertia. Kind of like the Black Panther's armor. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, then on the next page, you see the bullets all flying in from this direction at him, right? And they're all hitting the deck and around him, and he's covering her up, right? And then she says to him, where did you come from, right? And then in the next panel, you see the boat as the Hind helicopter's flying away, and they're saying the same thing. Where'd that guy come from, right? And then the bottom of it, you see the captain, right? And he's heading out with his sidearm to go get her because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on out there, right? And he's telling his first mate to have everybody abandon ship because he knows the ship's lost, right? They've already been hit by a torpedo. I mean, it's a Coast Guard cutter. If you've ever seen these things, they're a good-sized boat, and they've got some good guns on them, but if they get jumped like this, they're not really ready for it. You know what I mean? So then the next page, this is one of my favorite pages. I always put it up every time I go do shows. My favorite one I drew at first was that one where he's jumping out of the thing, you know, where you can see his cape flying and everything. Anyway, this one right here, you see him over the female crew member and the captain behind him drawing down on him with his sidearm, right? And he gets up right here and he's looking at him and he tells the captain over here that's got the gun on him. He said, Captain, I am not your enemy, right? And then he says, they were. And then in that panel, it's a big spread panel. And what you see here is you see his eye patch light up. He turns his back on the captain. The captain starts unloading his gun at him as soon as he moves, right? And, of course, it's not doing anything because of that shield. And then these three, that's the rotors of the helicopter. That's the first guy's helmet, you know, in the pilot's seat, and that's the second guy's helmet. And he just pops off 3 rounds with his what looks like a flintlock, right? But it's a high-tech thing. He can go full automatic with it or whatever. And he says, they were. You know, and he says, were. Like, I knew I was going to take these dudes out that quick. You know what I'm saying? And and he doesn't kill them. He shoots them in the helmet. This guy's kind of like Batman. He doesn't kill people. He tries not to. He's going to kill a few people along the way, but he's going to try not to, right? And then he goes back over and picks up the female crew member, and you see, right, if you look right between the two heads here, you'll see the helicopter spinning into the ocean right there behind him that he shot. And then right here, he's explaining to him, hey, man, you know, I'm on your side, blah, blah, blah. And above him, you see the Huey start to come through where they're folding space at. And then you've got the big thing where the captain sees his ship start to appear and the helicopter was just flying around the ship the whole time, right? So he's got some high-tech shit, man.
Can I make a suggestion?
I
think it'd be fun. You ready? How about this? Like, you know, as the helicopter goes down, everything happens just like you say, right?
Yeah.
And the conversation is, you know, essentially the same. Nothing changes, but the point of view goes, instead of on him, like we see the crew getting out of the helicopter, you know, and then he spared them. And, you know, he's in the distance and he says, yes, I try to never take lives. And then we see like a shark biting one of them in half. He's like, I am responsible for the. I'm
not responsible for what happens to him, right?
No, he's like, I care very much. I go to great pains to spare people. And then like the other guy like pulls out his pistol and is like trying to tread water and fire at the shark. And like at that moment, like some piece of like flying debris just drops out of the sky. Like the helicopter blade turns one more time.
He takes care of the fucking shark and gets killed by a rotor, right?
Right,
dude, that'd be like some shit out of the Meg, right
and then
there.
The privateer goes and like gives the shark, like pumps the shark's stomach to get the helmets out of it. It's like, I just have to save this Carcassius carcassidon, otherwise known as the Great White Shark. You know, it's an endangered species, and it's just swallowed these lousy bastards. You know, and then like after that, the shark is all full of Russian, like from the 80s, and it's just like. It becomes indolent and waits for things to be handed to it, like a socialist shark. That could be the origin of a new enemy, socialist shark.
Okay, I'm gonna have to rein you in. Come back to me, Teague. Come back to me.
I only talk like once a podcast.
And
I like
once
to
you
make it
start
clear.
talking, it's like tendrils going out.
Wait.
50 different directions.
Teague's like me when
I know.
when I do it.
Brain doesn't stop. Let's see. Christian says, and again with the privateer, I will be the first international customer. Of course, you will be. You know that. Awesome one says, "Word up." What else is he saying? A couple of qualities Joe has. Second favorite dirty old man after me, and best transplanted Yankee who likes hockey. Yes, I do. I do like hockey. Aye, Captain. That's right. Now, after that, I'm going to show you a few more pages, and then we're going to get out of here because I got to get ready for work. But this is after that incident. This is where you see communist reign for the first time. You see a big snowstorm in northern Russia, right? And this is his control room. He's got a high and tight. This guy's got damn near translucent skin from being in a gulag for years. He doesn't like the sun. You know what I'm saying? And he's got blonde hair. He's basically Ivan Drago. Think Ivan Drago meets the Thing. He's bulked up, really big dude, right? And but he's got the high and tight stuff. And anyway, one of his guys is explaining to him, "Hey, man, we lost a shipment. This is what happened. Blah 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 blah." And he gives them instructions, walks away. But the next page is just a big picture of him walking away from his desk, and as you can see, it's from a long way away. It's the hammer and sickle. That's what it's in the shape of, right?
Yeah.
His desk. His desk is actually the head of the hammer, right? And then so a whole lot of exposition goes on in these. You know, it's the captain trying to figure out what's going on. He's got them on the ships and everything, and they're checking them out in the med bay, all of his crew and all this stuff, and it's just a long conversation. He thanks the girl she thanks him, and he thanks her. Just cordial shit, you know. But the captain's got a whole shitload of questions, and he keeps talking to him, but he's letting him know the whole time, "Hey, man, if you talk about this, they're gonna call you insane. They're gonna throw you in a mental home. You know, you need to keep your mouth shut about this." And then he shows him the main deck, right? He walks him to the main deck where they're already putting together the crashed helicopter. The two guys. He tried not to kill him, but they drown. Okay. And there's a reason for that. He tries not to kill him.
Sharky would be funny.
Yeah. Okay. You know, the whole thing with Teague Shark, that's what happens. Just happens off camera. Anyway, he sees
it's all the Star Wars movie, doesn't it? Now, a lot of stuff happens off camera here.
A lot of stuff happens off camera, right? But then again, here, now this is the incident that really starts the story going towards them colliding. The captain's talking to him. He said, "What about the boat?" Because the boats that what they were doing was they're running drugs, and the helicopter was basically smoking the bandit. The helicopter was the bandit, right? Running a block and tackle for him. Anyway, he says the boats are going to be picked up in Miami. Well, here's the cops getting the boats in Miami, right? And then here's the van carrying them to the police station. But you see, they drive underneath this walkway, and there's a guy standing there. He's got a basketball jersey on. He's got it's definitely a hoodish looking dude with an RPG in his hand, right? And that's what was going on in Communist Reign's office, as they were saying, "Hey, we got to get rid of these guys. You know, they can't be talking," right? And what you see here is the back of the van, the back two doors of the van. You see the silhouette of the dude with the RPG. It's fired, and it pans towards the front of the van where these guys are bitching. They're telling the cops, "Hey, you got to protect us. This guy's going to come get us," right? The whole time, and they're going towards the front of the van, and the cops are saying, "Shut up," blah, blah, blah. And then one of the cops turns around and goes, "Oh, shit," kind of thing, right as the rocket's about to get there, and wham, it blows the shit out of the van, right? And the basketball dude goes running away. And then we go back to the privateer. He's now getting the kind of like that scene in Hunt for Red October. He's getting them off the ship and putting them in, life rafts. And he's telling the captain, "Look, you can talk about this, man, but you just remember we're on the same side. Nobody really needs to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I had to step in or you guys would have been toast, right? And so he says, yeah, I'll keep your secret, blah, 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 blah. And he's going to be a recurring character later on anyway. And then, he's watching, and in almost every picture, you'll see one of these seagulls. They're drones flying around his ship. Okay.
I had a quick idea. Just think about this. Since you just mentioned Red October, it just gives me an idea. Like your commie character, the adversary, like he could see Hunt for Red October and walk out like really angry, and then fast forward time and show up on the set of Rust and like grab the gun out of Alec Baldwin's hand and put another one into it. It's like, I'll show you to make fun of my
God. All right, look, I'm getting visions of the end of Deadpool. Okay, come on, man, what are you doing?
Deadpool is starting to look like, honestly, Deadpool 3 looks like a little train wrecky. It could go either way. I would call it inaccessible right now. It didn't reassure me.
I need to see more.
I'm going to err on the side of trusting Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, because I like Ryan Reynolds.
That's the only Marvel movie coming out.
When he made the first, the Wolverine Origins movie, he didn't have that much pull in Hollywood. Now he does.
Madam Web is Sony.
Well, he always circles back to that movie and kind of mocks it. They think, was it Deadpool 2 where he goes back and closes off the plot of that by killing all characters?
He kills himself.
He
kills himself. Yeah,
he kills that iteration of himself.
Because it was horrible. What
it was a terrible
Merc with a mouth. They sew up his mouth. What are you doing?
I was like, who the fuck did that?
Yeah, it was stupid. It was dumb, man.
With the X-Men movies, I just watched like the cycle of them, and what I found out is like, while Bryan Singer's trying to prove his innocence, things are going back and forth with control of the movies, and there's really two teams. Like it's him and his people, and then there's the people who do Apocalypse, and they are at war with his continuity. And like at his attempts to keep fixing things, by the second time they let them do a movie, when Singer comes back, he's just such a broken man trying to fix this story that the only way to look at it is there's about 3 different X-Men timelines.
Yeah, and at least we got the costumes in the last movie. I mean,
look, I'll put to you this way, guys.
Movies.
They're a perfect example of a movie studio trying to make a good product. Yeah, they blow it a few times, but they're trying to make good stuff. They're trying to make good stuff. They were, they're not going out of the way to try and piss people off or anything. Look, my favorite one comes from the second timeline that they came up with. My favorite one is Days of Future Past. I love that one.
That one's really good.
Yeah, but look, comic fundamentalists don't like that one because it's not exactly like the story in the books. Because
I agree with that.
Yeah, I know you fall into that camp, and me personally, I know what the story is in the comic books, and I've always viewed it ever since they started the MCU is they're using that as an outline, and they're trying to make, and in some cases they made it better, if you ask me. I really like what they did with Infinity Gauntlet. That was top notch.
Dude, Adam wasn't around.
They peaked with that. They peaked with that, and it's been all downhill ever since. And it's just
there was so many people missing from the Infinity Gauntlet.
There was. I mean, the biggest bitch I always hear is Adam Warlock. That's the one I always hear.
Silver Surfer wasn't there. The Fantastic Four wasn't there. Yeah. Like Hulk was, but he wasn't.
But you know what the reasons were for that? They didn't have box at the time. They didn't have rights to it. So yeah.
And then they bring Adam Warlock in the third fucking movie for Guardians, and then okay,
yeah, and they really just made him look like a moron. But but anyway, we're getting close to the end of the show here because I got to keep this under an hour. That's the way I like to keep it. But that's the process I'm using, guys. I'm sketching and plotting on actual comic book boards, but I'm using regular pencil so that I then could photographic and I'm using Procreate to do the inking. So I hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. I can't wait to get it done, but it's going to take a while, man. I don't know how long it's going to take. But on top of it, I got a 40-hour week job. So, I mean, it can be a pain in the butt. It really can. Let me stop the Twitch broadcast real quick. Stop. Okay. And get that done. And we will do you want to push anything that I'm not already going to push? Teague, what do you have coming up this week? Tell us.
Hey, my name's Admiral Teague, which is the name of my channel. I'm a crazy idiot. With my powers of idiocy and insanity, I will bring you a Star Trek oriented talk show today at 6:30 p.m. until about 8:30 p.m. when I guess Doomcock will come on. And, I hope some of you will join me. We will be talking about Madam Web. We'll be looking lasciviously at pictures of Sydney Sweeney, I believe, and possibly a few other things tying up this week in pop culture, looking back, and, of course, checking the Disney stock.
All right, man. Thanks.
Hey, John, what's up, bro?
Who's? Oh, there's
John
Dolph
just popped
Wolfen. Hello,
Hey,
stealing a moment from work to drive by and say hi and throw a like on the video. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Everybody, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All your favorite YouTubers, okay? And here's where other places that you can support my channel. You can go tip me on Stream Elements. You can go to my website, check it out, and commissions are open. All you have to do, emails on the bottom. I will communicate through email and I'll get you hooked up. PayPal is what I use for payment. Then if you want a commission done, just let me know. I'll be glad to do it for you. I'm going to have some stuff on the marketplace there. I got my wife's all set to make coffee mugs and keychains and all kinds of stuff. But I just, I got to find the time to put it all together. And she's got to have time to do it too. And she hasn't had time lately. But you guys go check out the website. Tip me on StreamYards if you want to, that kind of thing.
And Christian, by the way, thank you. That's quite a compliment. We hope we made work go by a little fast.
Yeah, we hope. Yeah.
This Friday is also your Friday, so tomorrow you're off.
You know what, man? I think he's off on Tuesday and Wednesdays, or Monday and Tuesdays. I know Tuesday's one of them. It may be Wednesday too. I'm not sure. Yeah. But he's a truck driver, so he's on the road.
Yeah, and so Christian used to say when we were doing the Archivist, we would do those like 6-7 hour long streams. Mm-hmm. He would sit there and just listen to it.
Yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So, boys and girls, you're watching Sketching the Privateer, the story of America's pirate Patriot. 20 years in the making, my passion project. I'm finally making it happen, making it become real so you guys could read about it. And we do this every Friday at 1 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out. And I'm off on Saturdays now these days, but I'm thinking about doing my 400 subscriber stream this Saturday. I'm not sure. Just depends on my brother's coming into town. And I don't know what he's got planned, what he wants to do. He may want to go to a movie or something. But if not, be looking for an announcement for that. I made it to 400 last week, and so I want to do a celebration stream for it. Always want to do those. So be looking for that. It's either going to be this Saturday or it's going to be probably Wednesday night late. Probably.
Okay? Wednesday night late would be more perfect.
Well, the only thing is I don't like doing it over my man Wes. I don't like doing that over Wes, man. Wes is my boy, and that's why I moved the video game stream off of Wednesday nights when I found out he was doing that one. So let's see. Tonight on Pop Culture Minefield, watch me screw up Detroit Become Human and make all the wrong choices. Yes, he's going to be doing that at 8 p.m. Central Time. I was about to tell everybody about that, but I'm glad you wrote it in there, buddy. I didn't forget about it. Okay, so the new lineup on Sunday is at 5 o'clock Central. That's 3 o'clock time there, Super Chief Jadester. Me and my brother get together and hack the Matrix. It's the Brothers Hack the Matrix. We go over today's headlines and let you know what's going on with the clown show that is 2024 now. And we do it for about an hour and a half. So that's from 5 p.m. Central to 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And then sometime after that, in the evening, it's MFR Roadhouse. Yeah. So be sure to check that out. He hasn't set a time for it yet, but he'll have it out on X in plenty of time. You guys follow him on X. The regulars will be myself, Sam, and Ruben. And
whoever else I can drag in.
Well, yeah, I said the regulars. I mean, rest of them, I'm sure he'll...
There may be like a few other regulars that are joining because, so.
I hope Wookie shows up. I really do.
Wookie said he may show up. So.
Yep. So be sure to check that out. Sunday evening, and then Sunday night late, I will be playing some Red Dead Redemption 2 at about, I'm thinking like 11 o'clock, maybe 12, maybe maybe midnight.
Maybe if
depending on how long the show goes with
Yeah.
Jed, I'll start it
Yeah,
about an
so-
hour after that because I want to take a break after because it's a long day. I mean, 3
Oh, well,
streams is a long day. So
John, it's cool, man. If you can't make it over, if you can, that's cool.
let's see. I
So-
doubt I can make it this week for the MFer, but I will try next week. Allie is off Monday, so is staying. I got you, man. Cool.
No problem,
All right.
brother.
Yeah,
That comes first.
That's for sure. And then
Yeah.
late Sunday night, I'll be doing my first video game stream of the week. Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails of Red Dead Redemption 2. I think I'm actually going to play the story this time because then I'll be screwing up a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So you guys are going to hear me yell at him a lot.
Now, this one I need to start doing once a month because I love playing with my man Lunatic. We're going to do Papa Joe Gamer After Dark on Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Central. It's going to be DCUO cocktails and fails. So that's usually me, John, and Lunatic. Now, John may not be playing with us anymore because he's got a regular job now.
And so. I'm there sometimes.
Yeah,
too.
you like to show up on that one too. But look for that Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, on Wednesday, hang on. I forgot all about Mondays. Mondays, I'm on Gary's show, Pop Culture Minefield, first thing in the morning on Monday, Military Monday, 10 a.m. We're going to do Sicario 2. So be sure to tune in for that on Pop Culture Minefield's channel. And then at 4 p.m. Central Time in the evening, I don't know if he's doing it this week or not, but his next show is going to be on The Jerk. That 70s rock fan is going to do the Jerk. I love Steve Martin. It should be a lot of fun on It's Only Talk and Roll, 4 p.m. Central Time on Monday. Then it's Tuesday night DCUO at 10 p.m. Central Time. And then Wednesday, of course, is State of the Atmosphere, where we talk about, we are going to do a Madam Web review on Wednesday. So try and watch it before then, guys. State of the Atmosphere comes your way at 5:30 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. That's the pop culture show where we talk about video games, and it always ends up in a Star Wars discussion. Kind of like, you got Teagues talking Star Trek. This is the counter to that. This is the Star Wars stream, basically. So be sure to tune in for that. And then at 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, it's game night with John. And this week, hang on, I think I've got it. Yeah, I put up the wrong thumbnail. He's doing Uncharted again this week. He's bouncing back and forth on Wednesdays between Pal World and Uncharted. He played Pal World this week. He's going to play Uncharted this week coming up. And that's on the Wednesday show. He's bouncing between those two games at 8 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. On Fridays, he's going to start Detroit Become Human this Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Okay, and then it's right back around to sketching the Privateer, boys and girls. So, what'd you say, Teague? I'm sorry.
Looks like Das Wolfen has updated his status in a comment.
Yeah,
just to tell us what's. So, will he be there?
I will be there for some DCUO. I can sleep later. Okay, brother. That's cool.
When you get your first YouTube microphone, you swear off all sleep and time off.
That's it, right? Okay, boys and girls, that is the lowdown. So, for myself, Admiral Teague, and Jed, I want to thank you guys for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless. All righty, we're out of here. I went over a little bit, but that's okay. It's always good to see the Foxy one, though, especially when she's ripping her shirt open too.
We're still my
House
wife.
of L symbol.